Hey guys, welcome back to a new video and a new series which will be about Git, and that is indeed a very important topic and many of you have been requesting that, so that's why I make that series about it. And first of all, I have a question to you. How do you back up your projects? Because there are three possible answers to that question. The first answer is you don't back up your projects at all, which is of course pretty bad, because when you fuck up in your code, then that means you're in deep trouble because there is no state of your project you can jump back to. Then the second possible answer to that question is that you back up your project as a zip file. And for a very long time I did that too. And I either uploaded them on Dropbox or Google Drive or just locally on my PC. And yes, that secures your code, but it has a lot of disadvantages. Because on the one hand, let's be honest, it's super annoying to always make zip backups out of our projects, because you will struggle a lot to find a good naming for those. And I think we all know that feel when we just finished a project and basically made a zip out of that project, called it project final, and then we found a bug. We fixed that bug, we made another zip out of that, we called it project final version 2, then we found another bug, we called it project final version 2, and so on. And sometimes we have like project really final, this is the really final version of this, and it's just such a bad naming for that. And we all do that when we have several backup files of the same project. And a third disadvantage of backing up your project as zip is that it just takes up a lot of memory, because every time, for every single change in your code, you back up your whole project, you save every single file of your project. And of course you could just save or back up the single file you changed the line in, but have fun getting that together later on. So what you're going to do is you're just going to back up your whole project. And yes, that just takes up a lot of memory and unnecessary memory of unchanged files. And because all that sucks, luckily there is a third way to back up your code, which is called a version control system. And there are several version control systems out there, but Git is by far the most popular one. And I really mean every developer out there should know about it and know how to use it. So what the heck is actually a version control system? Because that sounds super complicated, but it actually is exactly what the name says. Because in this context, a version just represents basically a snapshot out of your project. So the state of your project files at a specific time. And then we also have the term control system. So we have control over those versions, which means we're able to easily switch between different versions and different states of our program. So if we have an older state of our program and we fucked up in the newer state, then we can just use Git, our version control system, to jump back to an older version of our project where things were working. So Git basically eliminates all disadvantages it has to back up your project as a zip file. And in the end, it is nothing more than a command line tool. So if we open a shell here, like I did in Windows with the PowerShell, and we type Git here, press enter, then you can see there are a bunch of options you have with that Git command. And this program, Git here, should already be installed on your computer if you're using Android Studio or any JetBrains program basically, because Git already comes with those. And if you opened your shell and typed Git and it basically tells you something like it doesn't know the name Git, then this doesn't mean Git is not installed on your computer, this just means it is not in your path variable. The path variable contains all the paths that the shell will basically look at for programs when you enter a command. So in the path variable is basically the path to the Git executable. And when I type Git, then the shell will look in all those paths if it can find a program that is called Git. And in my case, it can, because I have that program Git in my path variable. But if you don't have that, you need to add that. Since that differs a lot from operating system to operating system, I can show you a general solution for that, but you can find that out very easily by just Googling how to add something to your path variable on your operating system. And now for many developers that are learning about Git, it's a big confusion what the difference actually is between Git and GitHub. Because in the end, you will probably hear about GitHub more frequently than you hear about Git. And in programming, we have the saying that the difference between Git and GitHub is the same difference as between porn and Pornhub. And that actually already explains it. But for those of you who didn't know about porn in Pornhub, including me, of course, I will explain that. So in porn, you actually have all the actors performing their job. And Git is actually the command line program that does the job, so that manages your project's versions. And then we have Pornhub, which is just a website that takes those videos and presents them in a nice way. And GitHub actually does the same. Just not with such videos. Instead, it will provide you a nice looking UI with some extra functionality to easily share and manage your projects, basically. So in the end, GitHub is just the website that makes use of the command line tool Git and provides you a nice UI with which you can work very well. And yes, in this series, I will show you the functionality of Git that you will need every day as a developer. And I will show you that from the command line, but I will also show you that from within Android Studio, because Android Studio also provides us a nice looking UI. But if you know Git from the command line, the advantage of that is that you can use it with all your projects. I mean, even if you create a project which you just use in your editor, then you can also use Git with it, and you don't need Android Studio for that. But I guess most of my subscribers use Android Studio a lot, and that's why I will also show you the Android Studio option, and that will also allow you to use Git from any JetBrains program, basically, because they are pretty similar. And one last thing, Git has thousands of functions, and 99% of the time you only need 1% of those functions, which I will show you in this series. But just know that there is so much to configure and so much you don't need to know. And even if you will need one of those 1% functions at any time, then you simply just look it up, Google it, and you will find the solution, because you won't remember it anyways if I show you that, because you will rarely use it. So I hope this was a helpful introduction for you about Git. If so, please share this video with your friends and write them a message that they are terrible developers if they don't know about Git, and that they must watch this video. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Have a nice day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.